Welcome in, Boom Bust Fantasy Live. Today we have got, I see that we are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch today. We've got your Dynasty trade questions. We've got a big queue. You can check at the top of the screen here, 15 trades currently in the queue. A lot of people want to know what to do with Ashton Genty. So let's get started with some of these right now. We've got the first one coming in from Kingsbury Jimmy. So it's from a couple days ago. It's a pre-Genty trade, but we do have plenty of Genty on the show today. Make sure I've got the chat pulled up here. I've got the chat visible everywhere. Let's get the first trade on the show because we gotta get moving. First trade, big one, 12 team super flex, start 10, half point PPR with a full point tight end premium. So normal receptions get you half a point. If it's a tight end, they get a point and a half. That's big. That's a big premium in this league. Let's go with the trade is Drake May, a 227 firsts. And then on the other side, we've got Jalen Hurts, Ted McMillan, and a first. I think the value is going to be on the Drake May side. And if we're looking at things you can do with the assets, you're just going to get more for Drake May. You'll be able to trade for more with Drake May. Likely scores you more points. So I think I'm sticking with the Drake May side. If you needed a wide receiver, you could probably then trade the 2 first-round picks that you would be getting in this deal to go get a receiver in the same value range. I'm going with that side. Knife Dick says Tootin and Jadarian for Waddle in a 12-man PPR. Put it in on the site. We take our trade questions through the site. Skills for thrills, dude. Sucking. You have piqued my interest. I think that's from Adventure Time. Adventure Time. All right, let's keep going through the trade queue. We've got a Dynasty trade. P squared jack of all trades. Just two trades. Just two trades. Well, gaming and trading. Do I think Genty is still worth a 4th or 5th round pick if available? Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be kind of wild if Genty fell to the 4th or 5th and Jeremiah Love didn't. Jeremiah Love has not really moved in ADP, and it's being reported that both of them had ankle sprains, high ankle sprains. Genty's broken, not touching him. I'm probably not drafting him where he was, but are we taking him further back than Jeremiah Love, who also sprained his ankle? I don't know. We've got this trade on the screen. Ooh, this one didn't load for me. On one side, we've got Jahmyr Gibbs and Khalil Shakir. Okay, Gibbs and nothing. Gibbs and nothing for Judkins and 2 firsts. That's about the price. If you want to go from Quinshon Judkins up to Jahmyr Gibbs, you got to spend about 2 firsts, and I don't know that I'm doing it. In this league, it's a 12-team 1 quarterback, start 8, which does make a difference. Where the value of someone like Jahmyr Gibbs just goes further up because we're starting far fewer players. That means the players that are starting need to keep the same amount of value, but just redistribute it. So it goes towards Jahmyr Gibbs. If I have Jahmyr Gibbs, am I moving him for the 2 firsts and Judkins? It could be enough. I guess I just don't know why we would do it. If we're trying to do some sort of rebuild, like if it's a rebuilding trade, I guess I can understand it. Bringing in the extra picks, and Khalil Shakir probably does put you over that edge to get to the 2 firsts. I think it's pretty fair, but I think generally I'm staying with the Gibbs side unless we're absolutely trying to sell assets. T-Rex, how do I feel about A.J. Brown? I think he's likely a top. It wouldn't surprise me if he's a top 10 wide receiver this year. Got a big queue of Dynasty trades. Here comes the next one from Jake. Try to get through some of these. It shows 13 in the queue right now. Jake Betkowski with a question. In a 12-team Superflex start 8, kicker defense added on there as well. Let's see, the 101 and okay, here's a trade of, what does Jake have? Jake has Jeremiah Love in this already. It looks like they traded the 102 Saquon Barkley and the 112 to get it. That's a lot. That's a lot to trade. I don't know that you're going to do that much else with the 112, but this is really like the 102 and Saquon should get you to the 101 if you're trying to trade. Otherwise, like, I'm probably just not doing it. So if I had these players, would I have done this? I think I may have just taken Carnell Tate and done something else with Saquon and the 112. Like Saquon and the 112 probably gets you pretty good return on running back. And then you also get Tate. I think that's the way I would have done that one. Jaden Issachar, we got a Jahmyr Gibbs trade. We will come back to the questions in the chat. We've just got a pretty big queue of Dynasty trades that have stacked up over the weekend. So we got to get through there. Jaden Issachar, 12-team Superflex, start 10, half-point PPR, full-point tight end premium. Jahmyr Gibbs for 3 firsts, 2 seconds, DeAndre Swift, and Josh Downs. It's a 27, a 28, and a 29 first. This is the value. If you're looking to move Jahmyr Gibbs or trade for Jahmyr Gibbs, this is about what you would have to pay. And if you're paying for Gibbs in this way, okay. This team has, they've got 2 27 firsts, a 29 first. Looks like they're moving they have a 28 first that isn't listed here. I'm not sure if Jaden put something in with the wrong league, but the picks here don't match for what it would take to acquire for what this team has. Would I be sending 3 full firsts, 2 seconds, and DeAndre Swift to get Jahmyr Gibbs? I think I like going for other things. I'm going to say this is kind of what you would have to pay. I wouldn't sell Jahmyr Gibbs to bring in kind of a mess like this unless I knew that I could then take these firsts and stack them back up quite a bit. I'm going to call this like even. There's situations where I could take both sides on this one. P squared, do I want to join your league 12-man PPR $100 buy-in? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm in plenty of leagues already. We've got about 21 or 22 Dynasty leagues, and then a couple redrafts that we do as well. Let's take a couple questions from the chat. What players am I steering clear from this year? I don't end up with a lot of, we did a video on this one. I don't end up with a lot of Ken Walker. I just like other players in that range. Like I would take Brock Bowers ahead of him a lot of times. So stuff like that where I just don't really end up getting them. I don't get a lot of Luther Burden. I generally stay away from like players that are getting extra hyped up, because even if someone else drafts them and they're right, that's not the end of the world for me. And I tried to avoid a lot of downside. Jorge, thoughts on JMO? I mean, I like him at his price. Jamison Williams, I like him currently where he's going in drafts. Wasn't he like wide receiver 12 in the second half of last year? Or just he picked up scoring in the second half of last year and then finished as wide receiver 12? It could definitely go that way again. So I'm probably in on JMO in a lot of drafts. And T. Higgins for Devonta Smith. They're right in the same range. I don't do a lot of trades like that, Ant, where I'm just trading one wide receiver for one wide receiver or one running back for one running back in the same tier. Once they're in the same tier, I don't worry a ton about it. Let's keep going with a couple of these Dynasty trade questions. We've got one popping up on the screen. Hebrew Hammer, 10-team Superflex, start 10. Half-point PPR with a tight end premium. What are we doing on one like this? We've got Justin Jefferson, Kyler Murray, and a first. No, oh my gosh. Okay, something must have been. I start reading these before I've finished the whole thing. This one's pretty gross. It's going to be the Jefferson, Murray, and a first side for me. Not close. I'm going to guess that Hebrew Hammer entered that one. And we'll move on to it. Here we go. Looks like the trade came through right afterwards. Here's probably the real one. Still not great. Just adding an extra first on this side. Jefferson, Murray, and a second, or Kyron Xavier Worthy, or yeah, Jefferson, Murray, and a 27 second, or Kyron Xavier Worthy and a 28 first. The notes here say that they put down that it's a mid 2028 first, and I think that's the way you do it. We don't know what pick that's going to be. Which side of this deal do I want to be on? The Jefferson side, the Jefferson Kyler Murray side. Hebrew Hammer has Justin Jefferson. I don't think you're getting nearly enough if you're moving Jefferson and Kyler here. Logan, can I enter my league into that website if it's not Dynasty because it's not working for me? It should work with ESPN. Awesomer, if Tebow were available still, I'd take him. I would as well. Tim Tebow was a good fantasy quarterback. That should not be controversial. He ran and scored fantasy points. Horrible at throwing the ball, but he could play. Logan, is your site on ESPN? Or is your league on ESPN? It should pull it for you, or maybe your league is private. Logan, your league on ESPN will need to be publicly viewable. We can pull that up right after this trade. Gonzo, 3087, 12-team Superflex, start 9. Okay, here's a big move, a big trade. Jamar Chase or Ibuka, a first, a third, and Pat Bryant. This is the Jamar Chase side for me. Which side of this is Gonzo on? Gonzo has Emeka Ibuka. Yeah, if I can move Ibuka and get Chase in this way, it's a clear win. Like, we can almost just say, if you're ever looking at this and putting it into a trade calculator and saying like, okay, well, we get Jamar Chase on one side, Ibuka and a first on the other, and then we kind of got to add some more. I guess we'll add Pat Bryant and a third. We can just cross off Pat Bryant and a third. If I have Jamar Chase, I'm probably just going to, and I'm evaluating this. If I couldn't just read it and say, like, I don't like it, I'd plug this into a calculator and then say Pat Bryant has no value compared to Jamar Chase, and a 27 third just does not have value in this deal. But if I'm moving Jamar Chase, I want to be the one moving Pat Bryant's and having it mean something. I want to be the one moving 27 thirds and have that mean something. I'm not taking them in. All right, we'll do this trade and then we'll hit some messages from the chat. All right. I think we're moving through these pretty quickly. I'll check the queue count after this, and then we'll take a look. Larry Foster says not a single person is making that trade. The people ask. People should be allowed to ask in a spot where it'll be taken seriously. And that's what we do here. Some of these are pretty easy answers. Some of them aren't. But you're allowed to ask. If it's not an easy answer for you, just ask. Murkio Smirkio in League of Losers. It's a 10-team, 1 quarterback start 9. So we're starting 90 players. That is a shallower league. On one side of this deal, we have Devon Achane and a fourth. Again, like fourth round picks don't really matter that often in trades, unless on the other side, it's Dontavian Wicks. Which side of this deal would I rather have? The notes here say, should I do Wicks for a fourth or Naylor for a third? What do you think of the Achane Jonathan Taylor trade-off? The scoring was very similar last year. Jonathan Taylor was ahead. He had a great first half of the year. Devon Achane, I think, was running back 5, and Jonathan Taylor was somewhere in 1 through 4. He wasn't number 1. I think he was running back 3 or 4. So we're very similar on production. Achane just gets you there on age. I'm probably going with Achane. And then the 4th round pick or Dontavian Wicks. If I'm making this deal and I'm sending Jonathan Taylor, and I think that's what Murkio Smirkio is doing. No, he has Achane. I would send a 4th for Dontavian Wicks. I think I'm okay with that. I think if I'm sending Achane away, I want more. I think you could send a 4th and get Jalen Naylor, or a 4th and get something a little bit more. I think I'm sticking with the Achane side here. Like, I don't know that we're getting enough value to take this slight down tier. If you guys are looking these when we do these dynasty trades on Twitch and on YouTube, I mean, on TikTok, I'm pointing and then it goes off the screen. Like, the screen's just not big enough. On Twitch and on YouTube, it does show their rosters. so we can take a look at their roster and see. Okay, we are catching up on the queue. We had a big queue to get this started. I'm clearing out a couple of these on my end, doing a bit of the housekeeping. All right, I see 8, maybe 6 trades in the queue now. Let's clear this off the screen. Let's hit some from the chat. Nathan, would I offer Harvey and a third for Lemon? Sure. I mean, I don't think you'll get that. I don't think you have any chance of getting that one. But I would. I'll offer all sorts of, I'd offer all sorts of things. Let's take a look at some from the TikTok chat. MR, should I trade Justin Jefferson and Emeka Ibuka for St. Brown? That seems like a lot, MR. Easton, Cook and Chase Brown for Gibbs. If you guys are, we do take trade questions as you guys have started wrapping up your redraft leagues. We are taking our trade questions through the site. So if your league runs through ESPN, we take them there. If it runs through Sleeper for redraft, that'll come out this week. And then Dynasty trades we've been covering all night, and those go through the site. Caden in a 12-team PPR, Herb, Chase Brown, Tootin, Puka, Olave, Kincaid. Am I just reading a list of players? Caden, am I just reading a list of players? And Wheezy, 5th pick, 12-man. Who are we thinking? I think we'll do some mock drafts. Let's pull up. Let's get some mock drafts going. I'm going to open this up. If you guys have done mock drafts with us before, they get posted into our Discord. Let's get the first one going for the night. Been going for 20 minutes now, covering some Dynasty trades from the queue. We're going to hit some mock drafts. I'll get the first one set up. Here it is in the window. Let's see. Alex Gaston says, rate my 14-man redraft. We do take, oh, it's right here, text. Alex, you can submit your team for a redraft. If you play on ESPN, you could submit that for a team review on the site. We take a lot of the stuff through the site. Let's go with, we'll do a 12-man PPR mock draft. I'm going to go with pick 3. Take pick 3 there. Here's the invite link. The invite link will go into our Discord. If you guys are not in our Discord, you can go to boombustfantasy.com/Discord, and the link will be there. If you're on Twitch and on YouTube, you can type !Discord. If you guys are on TikTok that doesn't have chat commands like that, you can check out the Discord link from our profile or go to the website and grab it there. They go into our Redraft Fantasy Mock Drafts channel, showing right here. We'll paste it there, and then you guys can join on in. While that fills up, I'm going to put a couple more trades on the screen, and we'll get the trade queue cleared out. We got this one coming in from, is it Aiden? A-D-A-N? Am I reading that right? We got Gohan joining in for the mock draft. Here's one, Aiden, in a 10-team Superflex start 9. We have not looked at this one. It's a big trade, 3 for 3. The notes say, I tried to do the trades for Justin Jefferson, but he thinks that Herbert and May are the same value, so it was impossible to do that. There are going to be managers, especially at quarterbacks, who just have seemingly oddball rankings, or rankings that are just different to what you think. So if someone likes Drake May the same as Justin Jefferson, that is different than the market. But that's how quarterback rankings go in your Dynasty League. So one of the things, just general advice for anyone in Dynasty and in Redraft, continuously be checking in on if you can get value from moving your quarterback. Because people value these things all over the place. Is this a decent deal? We moved Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, the stack, and Marvin Harrison to get Bryce Young, Garrett Wilson, and Drake London. If I'm in this move and I'm moving Bryce Young to get Justin Herbert, I think I like the Herbert side. Is this House of Daniels making the deal? From ADAN30, if I move Garrett Wilson and Drake London and Bryce Young, and I end up with Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, and Marv, I think I like the Ladd, Herbert, and Marv side. And move on from Bryce Young in a super flex. I don't know that I want to be trading to bring in Bryce Young and then having to start him. So we'll go with that. We got Thoy Bayeka. Make fantasy football great again is the league. It's coming up on your screen. We've got 2 folks made it into the mock draft. We're doing a mock draft right after some of these trades. We'll pull that up on the screen right after this one. Here's a deal. 12-team Superflex start 10. Is there no PPR in this? The notes say I have Genty currently, and I think this one came in, this trade came in yesterday. So they have Genty. Would I move Genty in a 27 first for Breece Hall, Dart, and a second? Do I need a quarterback? Got Mendoza and Stroud. Is this just to get Breece Hall? I'd say like pause. In a dynasty, I don't know how long Genty's going to be out. This deal involves moving a 27 first. Do we need Jackson Dart? You have Mendoza as Stroud. We can get by without Dart. I could be okay with doing this. I could be okay with doing it, but I don't know that I personally would. In the leagues where I have Genty, kind of just not moving him right now. I'll spend a little bit to get a fill-in running back, like a David Montgomery, a DeAndre Swift, or a couple things like that if he's going to miss a couple weeks. But I would wait before making any moves. If it's just an ankle sprain, we expect him to play this year. So let's get a gauge of what the actual timeline is before we're making too many moves. If he's not out for the year, let's not shoot and get rid of him at low. We got one from Rob, another Genty deal. This is a league I'm in. This is in one of our leagues, Boom Bust 10. Hoping to contend, and with the Genty news, is it worth looking to move off him? We moved Genty and Jalen Hurts for Lamar, Zay Flowers, and DeAndre Swift. This isn't a horrible deal. If you're bringing in the other side, I don't think it's a terrible move. Nick Ercolano? Who's that? I don't know a Nick Ercolano. Let's see. Rob has Genty, Judkins, Jalen Warren. Like, I think you could survive. And Mike Washington. If I was Rob, you do get a little bit of a value win going to Lamar. I already really like Jalen Hurts and think he's a bit undervalued. I don't know that you need to do anything. The roster that Rob has Mike Washington already. I think if Genty misses any time, then we're fine. I mean, we're starting Mike Washington. And it's only a couple points per week dip if we're just replacing him. AW, can I show you my team? Yeah, you can submit it through the site. If it's on Sleeper or ESPN, we take them through the site. So I may call this one even, but I don't know that you need to do anything, Rob. I know you've got a couple here. Let's hit the rest of the ones from Rob. I think he's just exploring. This one came through already. Pater bots send site link. It's right at the top of the screen. It should scroll across the top of the screen. Where's my finger? It's right there. Pater on Twitch. This is the same trade from Rob. Let's go with this one. I think this is another Genty move. Genty, Mike Washington, and a 28 second to bring in Breece Hall, a first, and Devonta Smith. I might stick with the upside of Genty. I might just stick with, if he comes back and is all right, I may stay there. If the news has come out, it's not season ending. You've already got the backup for it. I may pivot. And if Rob, if things aren't looking great after 1 or 2 weeks, then we can come back to it and kind of reset prices. But there's still 2 full weeks until the season starts. I'd start there. I'd say most of these deals, Rob, will still be available in 2 weeks. Like Genty didn't tear his ACL. I think we're okay. All right, let's take a look at this. We've got the mock draft that we'll do right after the trade queue. Filling up. Got 3 folks in it. If you guys are looking to get in, it is in our Discord. If you're on Twitch and on YouTube, you can type !Discord and it'll put a link in the chat. George, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, George. If you guys have not joined our Discord, it is available on our profile on TikTok. That's where we get most viewers. You can check the profile for the Discord link. And then in our Discord, we've got a redraft fantasy section with the mock drafts channel where the link has been posted. Join on in and we'll get going on that. User 99, can you rank Garrett, Smitty, T, Ladd? I don't really rank them that much. It's like the same sort of way I view a lot of the running backs going at the 1-2 turn. They're all kind of a tier to me. Who has the most upside? I guess Garrett Wilson. But in drafts, there's a lot of the times I'm just looking at those guys and saying, I'll be happy to get any of them. How do I take my picks around that? That's why I don't really have ranks on the site, because there's a lot of situations where we get players into a tier and then say, I'm just going to make picks around that group. Which is why I like taking a wide receiver at like 109, because I like all the running backs that are going to come back to me. Whichever one comes back to me, I'm happy. Devin, how do you join? It's in our Discord. We've got a Discord link in our profile. tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. boombustfantasy.com/discord will get you there. And then you can join the Discord and hit the mock drafts channel. We posted it tonight. We've got one final trade that will hit from the queue. This one's coming up on the screen. In a Dynasty League, a 12-team super flex, 6-point passing touchdown, start 10, PPR, no tight end premium. Big trade. Are we moving Josh Allen and T. Higgins to bring in Justin Herbert, Ken Walker, Jameson Williams, and a first? I could. This fits the general way that I would be looking to get an overpay for Josh Allen. This team has Josh Allen. Are we looking to tear the team down, just Joshin? Do we need these extra positions? Like an extra wide receiver and Ken Walker? We've got HN and Monungai, Dowdle, Stevenson. Like, we could piece it together at running back. If this is the start of a teardown to bring in picks, I could do this. What else is on this team? I may say, like, get a second thrown in for Ramondre Stevenson if you're moving Josh Allen. Or move on from Malik Willis as part of this deal. So I'll say, like, I could give you the green light. You could possibly ask for more. I'm not sure that I see the vision or the need to move on from Josh. And if we're starting a rebuild, we do team reviews through the site, and I would put together trades of how I would rebuild this team. But if this is a team that's trying to start a rebuild, I've probably got some rules about moving Josh Allen that this doesn't hit. When I'm trying to, we've got the site or the team listed on the widescreen feeds. If I'm moving on from Josh, like, I need to get paid for Ramondre Stevenson. I need someone to trade for Rico Dowdle in that deal, as well as Monungai. That's one of the most valuable things you have. And, like, that's what you can do to get, that's how you can get value for these players. Like your Stevensons, your Jalen Nailors, your Rico Dowdles, is by pairing them with Josh Allen. So I'd say you might be able to get something better, or a deal that better fits the goal of your team. We'll clear that out. The trade queue has cleared out. Pater, any chance I'd get a credit on the site since I've been subbed for like 8 months? Probably not. Probably not. User 99, Garrett or Devonta, all caps. I think Devonta's a bit safer with a lower upside. Nicholas, how should I improve my team? We do team reviews through the site, Nicholas. We call it a fantasy check-in. We'll pull up your team on the screen and we go over how I would review it. We've got spots in the mock draft. 4, 5, 6 spots remaining. Ivan, Puka, Nico, London as 1, 2, 3. It's good. I mean, it depends where you got running backs from. Those are 3 very good receivers. I like those 3 at those prices. I don't know what running backs you got after. Larry Foster, how much is Parker Washington worth in Superflex PPR Dynasty? I'm sure we covered it recently. I mean, maybe that one wasn't as recently in a video. I know the YouTube search works well for the Dynasty price checks, Larry Foster, but I'm sure we covered it with real trades on a TikTok. Colin, how do I feel about Olave? I don't have a strong feeling about Olave, which means like where I'm good with where he's going in drafts. If he falls to me, there's a very good chance that I would end up taking it. Hey Zeus, does he read YouTube chat? I do. Whose side you on, Cyrus Allen and Addison for Casey Concepcion? We take our trade questions through the site, Jesus. So we've just been going through trades. Those all get built and shown on the site for syncing your leagues and putting trade questions in through there. Turkey Moth, I'm 5 in a 12-man. If Gibbs, Bijan, and Christian McCaffrey go first, is it fine to draft Cook? No. Turkey Moth, we could take a look at it in the draft. If you're at pick 5, you want James Cook at 5, just draft someone else and trade for James Cook. If you can't get that, then we move on. But you shouldn't overpay for a player just because that's the guy you want. Like I wanted to have Ashton Genty on a lot of redraft teams this year. I'm probably not going to draft him. Like it's a bummer. I'll get someone else. I care a little bit more about winning the league than I do just rooting for my players. So I would tell you, if you wanted to get James Cook, like you can. You just have to draft someone more appropriate for the price you're spending and then trade for James Cook. Jay Bushi at 4 in PPR. Is it crazy to grab Christian McCaffrey over Puka? I don't think so. If you want him, that is where he's heading, or that is where he's going. Henry Martinez Jr., where's the link? Eric Ost, how do you join? It's in our Discord. On our profile, we have a Discord. You can also go to boombustfantasy.com/Discord. And it'll send you the link there. Doll, thoughts on Trevor Lawrence this year in Dynasty? He's probably overpriced for Dynasty leagues. Same as Caleb Williams. If there's one thing that gets overpriced each year, it's just quarterbacks based on who did well the year before. Now people think those are the guys who are going to do well again, and quarterbacks are a bit more fluky in scoring. It just becomes tied to like how many touchdowns do they throw? And touchdowns are a bit fluky compared to rushing. Does the team just run the ball in? Bobby P, should I sell Daniels or keep? The answer is always sell, Bobby P. Bobby P, the answer is always be selling your players. You never know who is going to overpay for your guys. You just don't know. Horseballs 911. Never forget. You think Genty is coming back for week 1? No, I don't. I don't think so. It would be very surprising, but I'm open to the idea of it. Nathan, would I do Roman at 27 first for Bucky? Nathan, we take our Dynasty trade questions through the site. George Licio, hold Genty on a contending Dynasty team? Yeah. Henry Martinez Jr. Post the link here on TikTok. I mean, I could type it. If I type it in here, it's the same thing. You would just have to go type into a browser. tinyurl.com/boom discord. Dahl, Trevor Lawrence is my QB2. Should I try to move him? Dahl, try to move everyone all the time. Try to move everyone all the time. The answer is always be trying to trade your players. What did I miss from Jay Bushi? We set up a Dynasty League in your sleeper link. So far, so good. All right. We set up a Dynasty in my sleeper link. Like in the, you joined a Dynasty League from Discord? AI Detector says, start the draft. AI Detector, there's 2 more spots available. There's 2 more spots available. Jacob Harnison, I kind of want Hampton. Is the pick 12 turn? Should I do it if he's available? If you want him, that's the spot to get him. I think that he is going in that range in leagues. I wouldn't personally take him. I kind of like just Chase Brown more. The Matt Meister, how do you join the mock draft? It's in our Discord, Matt Meister. It's right here. The link is right here in the Discord. You hit it right there. Rickman, is Ken Walker a top 5 running back? I don't think so. I mean, it's certainly possible that he finishes the year as a top 5 running back, Rickman. It's definitely possible. But I would take Bijan, Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Chase Brown. 6 guys ahead of him easily. I think he's closer to that Saquon, Derrick Henry range. And at the back end of it. We'd like him to take a big step forward. Who do I pick 9th pick? We did a video on 8th pick today, Dana Rhodes, and we'll talk about it as we go through the mock draft. Am I taking Ladd or Burden or Rome if I had to pick 1 or 2? I mean, it depends on the prices for them. If it's just who do I take of those? Who do I take of those? Probably the one that I could sell the highest, which is Burden. Sometimes Burden goes in the 4th round in these mock drafts. I like the upside on Ladd, but that's generally how I'm drafting things. I mean, it's going to depend on what I pay to get them and what I expect that I can move them for. We do still have 2 spots open. We've got Team 2, pick 7. H-Blood, how do you feel about Neighbors this season? I'll have to decide that within the next 2 weeks. His non-contact jersey just came off. If he's ready to go, 3rd round, like early 3rd round where he's been going, is a big steal. So I'm probably in on Neighbors. And I could probably build draft plans around taking Neighbors, 303, and then pairing him with other wide receivers that could cover early. Like if I drafted Malik Neighbors, I might get like Diggs later because I think he's going to at least be okay. And he's super cheap. And I could get a couple more solid wide receivers where I feel like I could piece together the position if Malik Neighbors is a little slow to start. We've got 12. We're going to hit start. We've got Gohan in the first spot. He is one of the first people to join in. We're starting this up. Start this up. Here we go. If we need to change picks, I will. I'll use my discretion. It's only happened once with someone taking Lil Jordan Humphreys at most picks. Henry says, bro stole my pick 9. We'll survive it. We'll survive it. We'll do another one right after this too. We're at 40 minutes into the show. We'll go for another 45. And then we'll be back tomorrow to do more. I'm on the clock. If I'm at 3, I want to see how I feel if I take McCaffrey here. Jesus Cobain, so do I ask the same question through Discord? Of your trade question? Liam Mathis, Burden or Odunze? Generally, I just take the second guy. Who do I think is going to be more valuable this year? That's not really the question that we're answering in drafts. Usually I'll just take the one that goes cheaper in my league, or I'll say, I don't take either of them. I'll just let someone else take that chance and I'll get a different player. It doesn't mean I don't like these guys. It means I'm just going to avoid the situation. It's kind of how I feel on Ken Walker. I don't hate him. I like him around like the 212, but he's never there at the 212. I believe that he could be good, but I don't end up getting him. Brendan Mills, you put your team in on the site? I don't know that you did. You may have, Brendan, let me know what you're trying to do there. Because I don't see any receipts for things. Hoby, I did a trade in Genty. Brendan, for a team review? The team reviews are not free, Brendan. So it sounds like I need to clarify some of the steps. Hoby, I did a trade in Genty. I don't know what that means. I mean, Genty just went at 202. I don't know that I would be taking him there. We were talking about pick 109 earlier for someone. Who do I like at 109? I mean, I would really like Amon-Ra there. At 109, I'm probably more likely to take a wide receiver. Like, I like James Cook, but I also like Achane, Hampton. Genty falls out of that range now. Chase Brown, Saquon Barkley. I'd be happy with Derrick Henry early to mid second. He was PPR running back 8 last year with some pretty bad down weeks just from the whole team being injured. I am okay with taking Derrick Henry. He goes at 207. This is the range where I would start to be open to taking Ken Walker. I like all of these players ahead of Ken Walker, but then I also like A.J. Brown ahead of him. I like Brock Bowers ahead of him. I like Nico Collins ahead of him. I find myself with Ken Walker like here, which just means I don't end up taking him. DB 21.8. Where should we be taking Genty? I don't know how much he's going to move, but third round, early third, possibly. We'll get a gauge of how big of an ankle sprain is this. I think the last I've heard was just that he had an ankle sprain. We went McCaffrey there. I wanted to see, like, can I reliably end up with a Nico Collins? If I go McCaffrey, do I get Nico Collins here? There's plenty of players that I like on the reverse. Jesus, the trade question, you said the site. I joined the Discord. I'm looking at the trade queue right now, Jesus. I see one in from GM Bronk. We'll pull that one up after I hit this next pick. Bowers goes at 211. I would have taken him at 303. We'll call out the players I would have taken. Nico Olave Neighbors, pick 2 of 3. Olave and Neighbors. Or excuse me, Nico and Neighbors. Nico and Neighbors. I think I end up taking Nico, the highest of those. 301. Kyron goes at 212. Which is like a full round ahead of ESPN. I kind of like the sounds on. Jax, thank you for the follow. Ant, thank you for the follow. I think Ant was the follow when someone else came through. Okay, my pick comes up. I could see myself taking Trey McBride here. I think I'm just going to take Malik. Is there anyone else here that I'm considering? Not really considering Breece Hall. Kyron went way ahead. I'm going to shoot for big upside at wide receiver. This is riskier. I feel pretty solid that I've got a top 10 wide receiver with Nico Collins. I could have a top 5 guy with Malik Neighbors. If I look at, I don't think it's high odds that he's up there, but he's been wide receiver 6 before in 15 games. He was looking good last year. If he, he had one good game. He had one great game. Eric Ayote, if you've got a Dynasty trade question, we take those through this site because it lets us build out this view. And because that's the way I like it. We've got a dynasty trade from GM Bronk. Lewiston versus everyone. This one just came in. 12 team Superflex start 10. On one side, we've got JSN and a third. If I'm moving JSN, I'm adding a third on that side. I'm adding harder to move players for Malik Neighbors into first, and then JJ McCarthy. I mean, we can almost cross off like the third for JJ McCarthy. Maybe McCarthy's a little bit higher than a third, but the price of JSN to get Neighbors in a first, I think I'm taking the Neighbors in a first side for the upside. Am I on the clock? No. Henry's on the clock. I like being able to hear the clock. I need the noise, guys. If it bugs you, keep working through it. We'll submit that one. I see your message, Hoby. I see your message, Hoby. We'll bring the mock draft back on the screen. Who was this, Hoby? My dynasty trade is Thoy Baker. I submitted it yesterday. Yep, we took a look at it. The YouTube replay. You should be able to join the YouTube right now, Hoby, and scan through. The queue will show up at the. Let me point on. I can't point on those widescreen feeds, but it scrolls across the top. Yep, we saw that one already. A lot of the ones that came in with Genty looked. The answer was generally, let's stay. Nothing's really going to change in the. Nothing big is going to change in the next couple weeks. Is it possible they say he needs a big surgery and then misses a while? I guess. But for the most part, we had 8 hours yesterday where it was thought that he would miss the whole season. And then now it's an ankle sprain. And he should be playing by October, I think. Owen says pick 2 Olave, Rice, Collins. I went with Collins, Neighbors ahead of Olave. Rice went at 309. Of those three, I may end up with Rice ahead of Olave, but I like Nico the most. Cash in Dynasty, what can I get for BTJ at a mid 27 first rounder looking to be top 5 in the league? Take a look at our trade builder. Let me pull this up. Who is this? For Cash Crumpta, take a look at our trade builder. On our site, we have this for Dynasty Leagues. We have this for ESPN Redraft Leagues. If your question is, what could I get for my players? We have that. You open up the trade builder, it pulls up your team, you click on the players. Typically, when we do trade builder demos like this, I specifically don't show the players that you have, just because I like it that way. But if I wanted to move Casey Concepcion and Devonta Smith, I've clicked on these players. I can filter this to say, it'll have your draft picks as well. I can filter this to say, I need a running back in return. I think I'm on the clock. I'm going to check. I'm almost on the clock. I'd like a running back here. If Bucky gets to me, I would take him. Otherwise, I'll take a look at evaluating the turn. So if you're a question, Cash, what can I get for BTJ in a first? Just click on BTJ in a first. You can filter this to say, I need the trade to involve a running back. I need it to be 2 players coming back, or I only want packages of 1 player coming back. It looks at the actual rosters in your league and builds out trade packages for you. We have this currently for Dynasty, and this is launching right now for redraft leagues to be ready for your draft season. You can check that out on our site, boombustfantasy.com. I think I'm on the clock. I've got one more spot. I've got my thoughts here. Jalen Waddle goes. We've got 2 good wide receivers. I really like Bucky Irving at the end of the 4th round. I could be fine taking Judkins early 5th round if there's a wide receiver here that I like. But I think I'm just going to take the running back that I think has pretty good upside. And I'm happy with so many guys coming back to me. This is a turn where I don't have to strategize that much. I'd be happy if Loveland was there. I'd be happy if Tyler Warren was there. I'd be happy with Judkins. Maybe if I wanted to strategize more, I'd just take the guy who has the highest value, and I would have taken Loveland at 410 and then been happy with Bucky, been happy with Judkins, been happy with and maybe I'm not as happy. Maybe I'm not as happy and I'm happy. And maybe I'm happiest with Bucky Irving and then a tight end or a running back here. Aiden, should I really consider taking Christian McCaffrey at the 103 over Jamar? I've done a lot of mock drafts. This is not exactly what I would do. I may just take Jamar there. I wanted to see how I felt with McCaffrey there. Did I feel good with Nico Collins and Malik Neighbors? I do. I do. So you could consider it, but you don't have to do it. I wouldn't think you're crazy if you just went Jamar Chase or Puka Nacua there. Aiden Hoyt, you missed to do the trade review. Will the video be up after the stream, or is the way to go back in the stream? On YouTube. You can just scrub it on YouTube live right now. Aiden. I'm here. I'll take Colston Loveland. I feel good about my top 2 running backs. I feel good about my top 2 wide receivers. I like getting a higher end tight end. In fantasy, I like getting my tight ends of players that I've seen perform, and then I want to wait a long time on my quarterbacks. I don't think of them in the same way. Scoob saying the trade builder is a very nice tool. Thank you, Scoob. Thank you, Scoob. What did I miss? Just a homer for Loveland. I don't, Scoob, you've been watching a while. I don't know that I'm ever that high on Bears players. Angel Lozada, am I crazy for taking Ken Walker over Hampton? No, I don't think you're crazy. I just don't do it. All right, I see it. I see you, Hoby. Hoby with the team review. We'll hit that right after the mock draft. We'll go through probably up through like round 11, 12, and then I'll build out my queue and let this run for the rest of the folks, and then we'll come back to it after the team review. Ethan, should I trade Rice and Jadarian Price for Ken Walker and Diggs? We take our questions through our site. Ethan. Stas, thoughts on Justin Jefferson? I am all the way in on Justin Jefferson. Stas, you don't see my comments? I do. I do. There's just a lot of comments and a lot of things to talk about, Stas. Dit guy. Who do I put at flex? Chase Brown, Amarian Hampton, Olave, or Devontae Adams? Chase Brown. Sage, speaking of Nico, what's your thoughts on Nico Henderson? Just a trade? Sage, we take our trade questions through the site, my man. Take him through the site. Stas says, I think he has a huge year. I already forgot who it is. Justin Jefferson. I think it's not going to surprise me if he has a big year. I think JJ McCarthy was really, really bad. User 99. I know you're against it, but I really wish you came out with rankings. I'm not necessarily against it. I just don't see how I turn it into money. User 99. Ethan, I can't get in the site. Can you please just answer the question? No. No. Ethan, we're trying to get cash. We're trying to get cash. I'm not going to be shy about it. TikTok systems notification. Thank you for letting me know, TikTok. Scoob, we've got Go Populars coming in, Finger Hearts coming in, Roses coming in. My man, Scoob, thank you very much. Just a little. Chris with the follow. Thank you very much. User 99, we value your opinion too much. I think you spent all of last year telling me I had the worst sounding voice and that I was an idiot. I thought you're already loaded. I mean, not forever. Not forever. Okay, my pick is coming up 6'10". I like Carnell Tate there. If Odunze is there, I'll take Odunze. I think Henderson at 6'1", I'm all right with. Jadarian Price went in the 5th round. We did drop a video on running backs today covering Quinshon Judkins, Kyron Williams. I think did we put Jadarian Price in that one? Stas, would I take the risk on Kittle? Yes. Yes. That's right, user. That's right. Scoob, I'm saving up for the nasal surgery for user 99. I've got to save up for the surgery to fix whatever's going on right here for the way that I sound. CMC, I love or Chris, I love CMC at the 3rd, hoping my league mates fade him so I can scoop him at 6th. I'm not even sure that I do like him here. This is one I just wanted to build it this way and see how we feel about it on the show. Parker Washington or Watson, Logan Rich, they feel really similar to me. They feel really similar to me. They could both be really good. If it's as easy as saying, I want the guy in the slot in Liam Cohen's offense, and that's Parker Washington, then that could work. I don't know if it is that easy. And I do feel shaky evaluating what happened last year for the Jags when a lot of people were injured. Travis Hunter was supposed to be a wide receiver for that team and was injured. Brian Thomas Jr. was injured a lot of the year in a lot of different ways. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I liked what I saw with Christian Watson. In this spot, who would I take? Watson, Parker Washington, or Brian Thomas? I shoot for the upside. If Brian Thomas has a good first 2 weeks and goes back to what he was doing, I can easily move that in like these top 2 rounds of value. So I would go with Brian Thomas. But I would not fault anyone for taking Parker Washington there, Christian Watson, and there's a good chance I can just get another one of them on the way back. Justin R., should I go back-to-back running back at 5? No. No. I mean, maybe. We'll talk about it, Justin. We'll talk about it. Do I take Christian Watson if he comes back to me? I think so. I have my 2 players here. Do I go with Watson? Do I want 4? Like, what running backs are going to be available on the way back here? J.K. Dobbins could be fine, but it's just one guy. Kyle Monungai's injured. I think I'm just going to take the shot on Harvey. I can go Hubbard. I'm going to go Harvey here, and I don't even really like it as I click it. Okay, Justin R. says it's a 10-man league. So, like, just count it out. Just count it out, Justin. You're at pick 5, and then we go all the way through to 10. And then what is that, 5 or 6 more picks back to you? Just rank 16 players. Here's 12, 11, here's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Do you have to take a running back in the first round? I don't think so. There's a ton of running backs that are likely to be there for you in the second round. So just take these first 2 rows of players and then write them down in the order you like them. Or pull up like ADP from people and get a gauge of like, maybe this person I just don't want to touch. But no, you don't have to make sure you get 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. Opinion on Dulcich? I don't draft him. For playing redraft, he's not going to be on my... I guess I could take him with the last pick of my draft. But most years, there's a player, a tight end. Like last year, who is this? C. Tutter. I don't know that Dulcich is even getting drafted as high as Evan Ingram was last year. But like Evan Ingram was this guy. If you weren't drafting him, you were an idiot. Don't you know how good he's going to be for the Broncos? There's tight ends like that every year that just don't do anything. That's what Greg Dulcich feels like. That's what Chigakonkwo feels like this year, as well as like every year for the past 4 years. Chigakonkwo was going to be this next big thing for the Titans, or was going to be maybe even not the next big thing, but was going to be like sneaky usable. He never was. John, is Loveland a top 4 tight end? In the rankings right now, does he finish the year that way? I don't know. He finished last year as tight end 12. This is just a bet that what we saw in the back half of the year continues. James Wade Evans, Tucker Kraft. I would take Tucker Kraft. Josephine, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I would draft Tucker Kraft. If I was considering drafting Tucker Kraft, I would then look up like, how has he been doing in camp? That's a spot where I just want to see what sort of workload and usage he's getting coming off of the injury. Who's this? Zach, how good do you think Dobbs is going to be? None good. As good as he was every other year of his career, which was none good. That he'll be this good. He'll be wide receiver 34 in a good year. I don't think that's disrespectful. He should be paid to play wide receiver in the NFL, but that doesn't mean we'll use him for fantasy. John, does Ibuka have top 10 wide receiver potential? Yes. Yep. Yeah. Can he become what Drake London is? Yeah. Yeah. Could he break out and get even better and become what JSN was? I can't say no, but it's not locked in. They played very similar roles at the same school, Ohio State. Could he follow the similar career path? I mean, that's just like helmet scouting. That's not very good analysis. But they're both highly thought of prospects that could be very good. Would I draft Olave in the first, or would I draft Ibuka in the first round? No. But I can't say he doesn't have that upside. Like 306. I think JSN was going right here, 303 last year, and then finished as one of the top guys. Like Ibuka could definitely be top 10. Okay, at 8-10. Do I go like Pittman? What running backs are available here? Blake Corum, no. Do I just go Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones? I don't love it. I could go Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We've only got the 3 running backs. It just auto picks me a quarterback. That's all right. We're going to let this go because we have a Dynasty team review to hit. And we do pivot to these pretty quickly. Let's pull this up. Let me grab my notes and get this ready. My notebook. My book's in the kitchen. We can make do with this one. And I'm going to turn the sound down. We'll come back to this. What are we at? We're at 8:30. I think we're gonna squeeze it in. We'll hit this and another mock draft, dependent on how quickly they come through. See, I think Jesus said he got a trade in. Let's hit this trade and then let's hit the team review. Cool. Let's hit the noise on that. Trades. Jesus. Repoll Bros is the league. Let's get this trade up here. And then let's get one for Thaboyka. I'll have another is the league. It's a 10-team Superflex. Start 9. Are we moving Casey Concepcion for Jordan Addison and Cyrus Allen? Or the question is, am I moving Jordan Addison and Cyrus Allen for Casey Concepcion? I might take Concepcion here. I might take Concepcion. Which side of this deal do you guys want to be on? This is tough. Like, I really like Jordan Addison. I think he bounces back and looks pretty good. I think he'll bounce back and be top 25 wide receiver. Steven Chandler, you're taking the Addison side. I don't know that I would move Concepcion to take this deal. Hoby says, I like Addison. I like Addison. I have a video saying I said Addison was a good buy low for Dynasty with Kyler there to get him back to where he was. Like, he is very talented. He's a second receiver there. Steven Addison's a known quantity. I think some people would argue that he isn't. He's known to me. I like him. But if I make a video about Addison, there are people who say that he stinks. There are people who say Kyler can't throw. I kind of like Addison. You have Cyrus Allen, and this feels like we're moving on from Cyrus Allen here, selling on some of the hype. There's a possibility that it goes through. Like Mark is saying, the Casey Concepcion side easily. When we're getting both options or both both answers in the chat, it gets to pretty even. Which side would I rather have? I might stick with what you have. I might stick with what you have. I don't know that we're going to lose a lot of the Cyrus Allen hype before the beginning of the year. There's room for it to get a little bit higher. I may stick with what you've got. Because is there a chance that Concepcion becomes great? Yeah. But if he just kind of stays and becomes like the next Jordan Addison, would that be crazy? And then we have Addison and a little bit of upside. That's where I'd stay at. Steve Chandler, what else is on the roster? Only for you, Steve. Only for you, Steve. He's got Ladd McConkey, Rashee Rice, A.J. Brown, Jordan Addison, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Cyrus Allen, and then a couple other guys like Chimere Dike in there. So Kyle Maccabee, but he plays on the Browns. Chances are slim. I mean, that's not good analysis at all. That maybe it's getting later in the day where I couldn't think of a way as I was saying that to say it respectfully. That's stupid. He plays on the Browns, so he can't be good. Like Nick Chubb just retired. He was very good. People like, what's his name? Fannin, the tight end for the Browns. People like this guy. Bad teams can get better. People used to say, I won't draft Lions. So I don't take this answer of like, it's the Browns. He can't be good. I think I would stick with where I'm at or shoot higher than Concepcion. If I was moving Addison and Allen for a 27 first, yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to call this one really even. We've seen answers from both sides. I may just stay on the Addison side. Let's go to Hoby's team review. Kyle Maccabee says, when was the last Browns wide receiver that was startable? LOL. You can say LOL. That won't make it not stupid what you said. All right, we got Hoby. It's just bad analysis. Texas Tejano, what option do you like? 108 Jonathan Taylor, 203 Bowers, or 108 Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown? I kind of like the wide receiver at 108 paired with Chase Brown, Tejano, but I really like Chase Brown. All right. Here comes the review. Getting this one on the screen. Thobeka. Judy was good 2 years ago. I think he was top 10. That's true. Jesus. Jerry Judy was. He had a very good end of the year. John, why is Bucky's ADP so low? Because people are worried about Kenneth Gainwell. And the fantasy market pendulum swings too far. Why is his ADP so low? I feel the same way, but that happens every year. With a player who, I already forgot who am I talking to. John, when a player is supposed to become really good, last year, Bucky Irving, top 10 potential, supposed to be getting up over 70% of the snaps, and then didn't get there. So now he falls way back. Chandler says you don't pay Kenny Gainwell $14 million to just sit behind Bucky. Sometimes you do, yeah. Sometimes you do. As players get older, like rookie contracts for running backs are just cheaper. The money can work out in that way. Is Bucky Irving going to get 70+% of the snaps like people thought he would get last year, and he was last year? No, he'll be an RB2. And he's being priced like a bad RB2. He's being priced at like running back 20 when he'll probably be like running back 14, running back 15. He won't get huge workload like we thought he would last year. So I think he'll be in that range. Chandler Harlow, sometimes you do. I mean, you cut the sentence off. Yes, sometimes do. Sometimes teams play veterans more than you might think to fill ancillary roles. Yes, that is just true. It is good analysis. Thank you for your sarcasm. Thank you. Thank you. I don't need your approval to be right. All right, Thobeka. Team review coming up for Dynasty. This is the first one that we've done tonight. This is a 12-team Superflex start 10 league PPR, no tight end premium. We'll be taking a look at I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm just going to keep saying it the way I'm saying it, even if it could be wrong. For Hoby's team, the way that we do this is we go through these position by position, and we give a ranking 0 through 4 stars. And this is a combination of projected scoring for this year as well as tradable value. This is a super flex league. If you have a lot of quarterbacks, you can have a lot of value. You can't start them all. So we try to come up with a combination of that. And when we find those situations, we talk about ways that we might move those players into other position columns. So we'll go position by position. We'll give a ranking for each one. We'll give an outlook for the team for the next couple of years. Are you contending this year, rebuilding, or rebuilding this year and then contending next year, or getting one more year in and then going on? So we'll go through that. We'll take a look at the state of your team within your league. And then we'll talk about types of moves I would make. On the live show, we go through some rough ideas of moves and concepts. And then tomorrow, you'll have a write-up under the My Advice tab on the site. You'll be able to come to your team review and take a look at a full write-up of the things that we covered, as well as real trade ideas based on the rosters of your league. Like here's one from that we did. It'll look something like this. For the people watching, you get a full write-up of, hey, here's what we think is going to be happening with your team, as well as you can scroll down and see multiple trade ideas that we would have, and then a link to the video replay of the live stream right now with chapters built in. So you can just jump right back to where we are right now, which is an hour and 12 minutes. So let's go through it. Quarterbacks, we've got Mendoza, Stroud, Aaron Rodgers. In a 10-team superflex, this is going to be one of the weaker rooms in terms of production for this year. Like if we're looking at, we've got to start Aaron Rodgers possibly to start the year. We don't know unless there's news today. I'm not sure that Fernando Mendoza is the starter to begin the year. And then CJ Stroud is of the 24 starters, could be 15. 16, not great. As your second guy, like that's okay. I like him as a buy low candidate, but you can't really do a lot trade with him. And I don't know that he's week winning for you. So I'm going to go with like, this is a 2 or a 1 here. This is probably going to be one of the weaker rooms in the league. If you go to running backs, you've got Jahmyr Gibbs, Genty, Tootin, really good top 2. Tootin is a strong third option. And then Monangai to fill out some bye weeks. I know he's currently with an injury, but I think he can be startable a couple times for you this year because we have to start 10 guys in this league. So yeah, Monangai can become startable for you. I don't know that I see him as someone with a ton of future value. I know there are plenty of people that play Dynasty that say Swift is leaving. They'll just pivot to Monangai. I think they might bring someone else in. So I wouldn't be shooting for big value gains there. But I'm going to put in, my gut is telling me it's a very good 3. If we had more, that would get us to a 4, and that might be where we look to make some additions. There's obviously concerns with Ashton Genty, and what I would do in the leagues where I have Genty, just waiting. I'm just waiting. We've got Steven in the chat who's sending trades to me as yesterday. Maybe we go send something for, maybe we send like a couple thirds to bring in Mike Washington. I moved Mike Washington for a 2nd and a 4th yesterday, and I think I accepted it before the guy realized that Genty wasn't done for the year. But he's a player I drafted with a 4th round rookie pick, and then I moved him for a 28 2nd and a 28 4th. I'll take that small value in, but that's an extreme rebuilding team. So maybe you go get Mike Washington to cover for the first couple weeks, or maybe we're bringing in like a David Montgomery or someone else to cover a couple things at the start of the year. But for the long term, for Dynasty, I think we're okay. Wide receivers. London. Let's take a look at it. We got London, Devonta Smith, Brian Thomas, Jordan Addison, Michael Wilson, Christian Watson. Was there anyone else here to call out? Like Jalen McMillan, possibly. But we're Khalil Shakir could start in this league. We're looking at what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starters. We've got a lot here. I can't go. I'm going to give it a 3 just on a lot of players. a lot of things that we can do in trades. Like we could move Shakir to get an older running back to cover a couple weeks, things like that we might look at. And then tight ends, Kyle Pitts, big upside possibilities. Mason Taylor here, not feeling that excited about. Dalton Schultz can cover your bye week for Pitts. That's about what I would expect for Dalton Schultz. He's not going to tank you a week. This is like 2. And we'll say the same thing roughly that we say about your picks. If you have your own future firsts, we call that a 2. That's like the standard, the default. Kyle Pitts seems like, yeah, that's a tight end. Not amazing, not horrible. We're kind of just into of the 12, we're like middle of the pack, acceptable. Nothing exciting. That's where I'm feeling with Kyle Pitts. It's possible, but some of that's volatile. It's possible that Pitts with Kevin Stefanski has a big year this year. And then we're saying these are 3 or one of the top 5 tight ends. That's in the range of outcomes for him. But we've also seen the low end of that range of just like not looking good at all. So I'm going to put 2 at tight end, but it's pretty volatile. And then picks a week or 2 because you don't have a 28 first. Do I think this is a team ready to contend this year? It's rough. You could sneak around and make it into the playoffs. And when we look at your team here, what I'll say is we can probably sneak around and make it into the playoffs. I don't know that it's a team that then needs to rebuild. So if we're contending this year, we're contending again next year. What we have up here is our lineup power. This takes projected scoring for the year based on your league's lineup and then tries to get a gauge of how's your team going to do. When we're looking at the chart here, we've got some bottom feeder teams with respect. With respect, some garbage. I'm just trying to make myself laugh on that. We've got some bottom feeder teams that are likely in a rebuild. If we click on them, maybe they're already bringing in future firsts. Like here, Dallas is already bringing in multiple future firsts, so not projected to do a lot this year. Same thing with Jay Reeves. So these are teams where we can go look to get players from. Looking at other ones, those are the only ones that maybe rookie cookie bringing in a couple firsts. I think your team is in the hunt to make the playoffs, not a top option. There's teams like D-Rose, JSN Voorhees that project to score a little bit higher than you. But the thing that we say each time we go through one of these is the fun of fantasy football is we don't know what's going to happen. CJ Stroud could bounce back and have a better year this year with a stronger O-line, with a stronger run game. One of the things that we've been saying as we do these is players are going to get hurt. Players at the level of Malik Neighbors are going to get hurt. Players at the level of Joe Burrow are going to get hurt. Unfortunately, players at the level of Ashton Genty are going to get hurt. If this is my team, I'd be taking it as a bit of a wait and see with a couple options that I would be looking to make already, which is just, can I consolidate some of these players? Can I consolidate Christian Watson and Khalil Shakir at good value? Can I consolidate Devonta Smith and Shakir to move up? Things like that. Of the 6 receivers that we named out, can I either consolidate value or move one to like running back? So that's the types of moves that I'll be looking to make. I don't know that you're necessarily a monster contender, but I don't see this as a team that we need to punt the year on in the offseason. If we get into the year and you're 1-4 and Genty looks far away, then yeah, we start moving on from things. But none of these players are big pieces that we have to get away from. So what would I be looking at right now? Like, let's take a look at Dallas. Can we get, he's got Jeremiah Love. Could we get a Breece Hall from him? Unlikely. Possible. I'm going to write that down and take a look at, are there deals where we could get Breece? If he's looking to rebuild, can we find a way to move a wide receiver and some picks and get Breece Hall? Jay Reeves, could we get Krosky Merritt to cover a couple weeks? That seems like the type of thing. If he's starting, he can play a couple weeks for you and he's not going to be expensive. And this guy could be incentivized to move off him just to get extra picks He's already been bringing in future seconds. If we can find a running back for you with a future second, that would be pretty solid. I'm not seeing a ton here from Nathan. I think we wanted to look at rookie Cookie. Could we get Gainwell or RJ Harvey for cheap here? Those are the spots I would be looking. If we have a concern with Ashton Genty, like, we don't have to move on from him or sell him to pivot to other things. I think one of the deals that you had sent in was your deal Genty for Breece Hall and then some other things on the side. I could look at that one, but then I would need to know that we could then take that first and move it for other things. If we're contending, let's contend rather than bring in future picks. Dallas put Hall on the trade block from Hoby. I think that was one of the ones you had looked at. So we'll take a look at it. I'm not sure if he's getting great deals. I could try to go through some of the trades and see how he's gotten these. There are times where managers are in a rebuild. They have Breece Hall and they just don't want to do, they'll put them on the trade block and then they don't want to do the work to go get the types of trades that they should be. And then they just accept the highest offer that came in because they feel like, well, I've got to sell him. I'm in a rebuild. So I want to make sure that I'm giving them an offer to accept, even if it's not great. It just needs to be the best one. Or they decline it and we say, like, that's okay. We tried to get a steal and they didn't want to do it. That's okay. But sometimes they do it. Other players that I might take a look at, Ramondre Stevenson from Jay Radis. If we're just looking for a guy to start for a while to cover, can we get that for cheap? Can we get Ramondre? Can we build a deal of like a second round pick from your team, one of your receivers, Michael Wilson for Ramondre, and then some other picks or a different player on there? That's the type of move that we're looking for. Or we're just saying we'll start tooting week 1. If we can't get any deals, if we don't get any like clear winning deals, then we just say, I'll just start tooting. We'll just go Gibbs, Tootin, London, Smith, Brian Thomas, Addison, Wilson, Watson. Like, we have enough players to cover it. So you're trying to snag Dart and Hall together to help your quarterback situation. You might be able to, you're not going to have a commanding lead. You may be able to sneak in with just Mendoza and Stroud. I do think Stroud will play a little bit better this year with an improved offensive line. If you put what was the trade in the chat, Hoby? I think it was Dart, Hall, and a first for Genty and something else. I didn't love the move on from Genty. I kind of want to hold Genty and see, like, he's a very highly thought of prospect. He still has upside in there. So I may just wait and see before we move on from him. The trades that I would look for on this team are like some form of consolidation, maybe a pivot to bring in an extra running back if Genty is going to miss like a month and it's going to overlap with a bye week from Gibbs and Tootin. Otherwise, I would just personally roll with Gibbs, Tootin, Monungai. If anything, I would try to just improve from Mendoza because his value is very high. Like, the trade value of Fernando Mendoza it's small on my screen. It might be small on your screen. We're looking at like 4,100 versus 3,300. I don't see them as that different. One guy was trying to get my first for Baker. That's about the price range, but I may just stick with the guys that you have. I don't think that this lineup is that horrible for scoring points. And then if we're looking to do improvements, I may look at like a second and Mendoza to see how high we can get. Well, I'll go through and I'll build out more trades, but a lot of this is just, can we consolidate at wide receiver? Let's not go too crazy. Dart, Hall, and a second for Genty and a first. If I knew that I had a deal then to follow that up with 2 seconds and a player to come away with a great option, then I might look at it. I'll write that down. Dart, Hall, and a second for Genty and a first. I'll revisit it, but that's not one that excited me that much. think we have plenty of guys that can just improve in value. Like if Brian Thomas looks good to start the year, we're going to feel pretty strong. If Jordan Addison bounces back and is looking good, looking like he was before, we're going to feel pretty strong. So we'll take a look at consolidating some of that, but some of this is just wait and see and hold your nose. Like Genty will play this year, very likely. So we'll write that up. We'll come up with a deeper plan off stream. Otherwise, I'm just going to start repeating myself here. Thank you very much, Hoby, for submitting this one. Let's put the trades back up on. Do we have any trades left in the queue? Otherwise, let's we do have one trade from Shep. And let's do one more mock draft. I want to do one more mock draft. We'll run it a little bit long tonight. We'll go an extra 30 minutes. Chig Okonkwo for a second and a third. I'm taking a second and a third. I'm taking a second and a third. Shep has Okonkwo. Give me a second and a third. I can do stuff with those. Maybe Chig Okonkwo then becomes, like, it's possible Chig becomes what Zach Ertz was last year. I can't say it's not possible. If you're looking to get value from Chig and then take this second and a third and roll it into other things, yeah. That would definitely get me to move off of him. I think I would be taking the picks, even though they're 2029. I might just wait and use them. I'm typically someone that moves on from hype. Let's do one last mock draft and then close out the show. Oh, here's the screen for mock drafts. Let's make a new one. And this will be mock drafts in chat and nothing else from the queue. So we'll close that out. Anything that gets submitted through the site we'll cover tomorrow. We'll be back 7:30 Central Time. Let's do a mock draft. Let's do a mock draft. How do I make one? Do I have to go to this? New NFL mock draft. I'm going to take pick. We've covered a bunch. I'll take pick one. I don't think I've done pick one. We'll take the invite link. The invite link is going into the Discord. If you're looking for how to access our Discord, it's on our profile. User99 says, how do I get in? There's a Discord link on our profile. Let's clear this trade overlay off of that feed. tinyurl.com/boomdiscord. If you're on Twitch and on YouTube, you can type !Discord and it'll put the link in the chat. Ryan Santoro, 12-team full PPR. Is it crazy to consider CMC at Chase at 103? No, I just did Christian McCaffrey ahead of Chase at 103. I don't think that's a crazy price. He's going at like 103, 104, 105. And once you're into players going a couple picks apart, it's not crazy. Got folks joining in. We got Barely Bat in. How are you doing, Barely Bat? I don't know if I saw you say hi today. Can I take the 6th pick? Yeah, if you get in there and click it, Jig. If you get in there and click it. Here, I'll hold it for you. I'll hold it for you. You get in. If I see a Jacob Hoffman or something in there, is this on Discord? It is. SHN on YouTube just did the Discord command. It's on Discord to join. It's in, we've got our redraft fantasy grouping and then mock drafts. And I think you can also just do like, is it Control T on Discord? There's a search command. Where's Discord on my computer? Let me see. Is it like Control K? Yeah, you can just type Control K in the Discord and type mock drafts and it'll go right to that. Reese, how do you submit it? How do you submit? Am I missing something from Reese? Justin Caro, what's the Discord? You should be able to get there from boombustfantasy.com/Discord. The site right there. Who do I like at 5 in full PPR? Jim Leahy. I like a lot of options there. I feel really safe with Amon-Ra at 5. He goes a bit later. I could be fine with if Puka's there. Great. I like Amon-Ra and JSN about the same. Did we get Jacob? Jacob, if you're in here, you let me know. We've got pick 2, pick 5, and pick 12, and I'll just switch to whichever one if you wanted. I don't know who you are if you wanted pick 6. Pooty, you're in at the 101. I see you, Poots. About to join Jacob. You got to go fast. Jacob, you got to go fast. Barely bad. Hope the weekend was good, brother. It was great. It was great, I think. I don't remember feeling bad. So I guess that's all right. Shane Davis, are there still slots? Is G. Carew Jacob? Otherwise, I'll be at pick 6, Jacob. T-San Bet says I'm in. There's the one spot at 12. Just start without me. I mean, Jacob, I got to be honest with you. I appreciate you saying it. I was going to start regardless. I was going to start. I was going to move on. I have the 6th pick in my league, so this will help. Then I'll stay at 6. We do have pick 12 available. We got uno más. That's Spanish for one more. Duolingo taught me that. My 6-year-old daughter in Duolingo taught me that. She did the Duolingo and said it to me. Damon Schmidt, I have Jettis, Pickens, and Metcalf in a Dynasty League. How do I upgrade my wide receiver 3 trading Pickens? Damon, check this out. Damon. Have you not seen this? Have you not seen this, Damon? Check out our trade builder on our site. Jacob, you're in? Okay. We'll move it. I'll move it for you, Jacob, if I can. I'm not sure if I can. I'll try it, Jacob. Who is this? Damon. We've got our trade builder. You come to our website, boombustfantasy.com. You sync your Dynasty leagues. You go to Tools, Trade Builder. Then you just click on players from your team. Now, typically when I demo the Trade Builder, I go out of my way not to show the player that they asked for. And that's what I'm going to do here as well. If I wanted to trade a player, I've got Devonta Smith. I just click on him. If I wanted to move Devonta Smith and David Montgomery, let's say I wanted a better running back. Very similar concept to what you're trying to do. I've clicked on these players, and then I can say I need the trade to include at least a running back, and I want to see packages of 1 player or 2 players. And then it's gone through my rosters using the scoring settings of my league to build fair value trades. So Damon, check this out, because if you wanted to trade Pickens away and upgrade wide receiver 3, this is how you look at it. You could then throw in your picks. It's going through the rosters in my league. Like Joe B has Jonathan Taylor. I could move Devonta Smith and David Montgomery for Taylor. That would be a fair value trade. They might not want to do it, but that is a current market fair value trade. And it builds out multiple of them. You can hit show more and it'll just keep going. That's works for Dynasty right now. Not a ton of trading going on in redraft. People haven't drafted yet, but it is available for redraft. It currently works with ESPN. It does not yet work with Yahoo. I need to get an API key from them. Let's take I clicked the wrong thing. I meant to just do this. Can I move this? Jacob, did you get in? What spot are you? Are you still able to claim the 106? Are you the 112? I don't know if you can. Not in, sadly. Then I'm picking from 6. Pooty will kick us off. He goes Jahmyr Gibbs. Whit Dunleavy, how do you submit your team? Are we taking drafting questions? We're doing drafting questions while we go through the draft. How do you submit your team, Whit Dunleavy? Just make your account on the site. We've got our own site, boombustfantasy.com. You just hit get started. Continue with your Google. I already have an account, but it'll walk you through the steps to sync your leagues. It's super easy to make your account, Whit. I am on the clock. Receivers are gone. We just did a draft with Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to see how I feel with Amon-Ra. The one I did earlier, I took a running back. I'm going to go wide receiver in the first round. I really like Amon-Ra. I'm fine with taking him at 6. Is Jacoby Lane going to be a sleeper? It's kind of what a sleeper is. Jacob Hoffman says, love Amon-Ra. Okay. Stay solidary. Would you take JSN, Amon-Ra, or a running back at 5? You could take McCaffrey at 5. We did a draft where we just did McCaffrey from 3 and then went like Nico Collins in the second round. A little bit earlier, we could have gone at 105, McCaffrey and A.J. Brown, and I would have felt okay with that. Like, Amon-Ra's just been... Oh, I'm not even showing the right thing. I wasn't showing the right screen. Excuse me. Excuse me. I need someone in my ear telling me I'm an idiot. I know I am. I just need someone telling me why I'm an idiot that time. Inglorious Staffords. We had your draft last night and Genty went in the 10th. Oh. With Dunleavy, are we doing team reviews? You just submitted yours? I think you just synced. All I can see is that you've synced a league with. We did say before we did this, team reviews will queue up for tomorrow because we'll be going Monday through Thursday, 7:30. Is it a redraft one, Wit? I like Lamb at 112. Someone went, oh, Steven Chandler went Jefferson over Lamb. It's Dynasty, Wit? Yeah, then I don't see that it's been submitted. I see you've synced. I mean, I assume you, I don't see this. I assume you've synced your league. The Dynasty team reviews are not free. I don't see any receipts come through. But we're already going. Typically, we would be done by now, so it'll get queued up into tomorrow. Okay, is there a running back available? I don't hate Derrick Henry. I don't hate the man. Could I take Genty at 207? I may wait. If I'm drafting right now, I'll just take a guy who I know is playing. He's just playing. Reese says it won't let me join the Discord. Yeah, let me take a look. I did just get unusual join activity detected. 25 joins actioned. Security action, select a time. Like, how do I just say mark is resolved? Increased activity from normal members, no action needed. Mark is resolved. Okay, Discord was saying too many people were joining. It wasn't used to it. Did we just get a follow? Tread, don't play. Stay solid, rary, stay solid. And then a name I'm not that familiar with. I apologize. I don't want to keep butchering it. But thank you for the follow. Bucky or Swift? Ooh. They go right near each other. And it's just, who do you want for upside? I have been making them as a comparison. S-Man. That people are not as high on Bucky as they were last year. And he kind of could be on a similar career path to DeAndre Swift. We thought he would be the guy for the Lions. And now he's just, and we thought he could be top 12. Now DeAndre Swift is just a good RB2 in fantasy. Is that what Bucky Irving ends up being? It wouldn't surprise me. That's kind of how I have them. So if you just want to get like what Swift was last year, I think Bucky has that with a little bit of upside. But if you just want locked in, like solid RB2, go with Swift. Where am I? 106. No Kyron. Kyron goes later on ESPN. If you guys have only been drafting on Sleeper or only doing these, but you'll play on ESPN, Kyron goes a little bit later. So I would definitely take him here. Do I go Rashee Rice? I think I'm going to go Rice. I'm going to go Rice. I could have also gone Trey McBride there. Mason Bijan or Jamar Chase in Dynasty. I'll take the longer career of a wide receiver. I typically go that way. They're really close. Tread Don't Place is great content. Thank you very much. Thank you. Who is the first pick? In this one, Gibbs. It went Gibbs, Chase, Bijan. I think Gibbs or Bijan is great there. Either one. Dylan, rate this team. Dylan, we do team ratings through our site. We'll be doing them all year. Dynasty or fantasy check-ins. If you just want to know, like, hey, how do we make this team better? We'll pull it up on the screen and we'll do that. But we do those through the site because they are not free. Ethan Chamberlain, Pickens or Neighbors? I think I end up taking Neighbors more. Fourth pick in a 2-quarterback starting league, CCU picks. Have quarterbacks already gone? Dylan, the site isn't free? Not everything on the site is, not everything is free, Dylan. Not everything on the site is free. Dylan, we will pull up one person's team and talk directly to one person, but that takes over the whole show. And if the answer, if If the answer is just pull up my team, what do I do? That's not free. I think that's okay. Would I hold Scat right now or try to move him with Dunleavy? My answer is always I'm trying to move everyone. The same thing is always true with you don't know what the other managers think of your players. You don't know if they love your guy and just haven't reached out because they didn't think they could afford it. You don't know that. Lewis McShane with a good one. Is J.K. Dobbins worth drafting? I think so. Let's plan to draft him. Let's plan to draft him, Lewis. I'm here at pick 6. I'll plan to draft him. Like 10th round or so? Ethan Chamberlain, did I mess up taking Pickens over Neighbors? No. They're right in the same range. There are very few picks in the top 3 rounds that I think are mess ups. I don't particularly like Josh Allen, but I like him at 310. I'd say everyone has a price. And when we're looking at these and saying, oh, George Pickens went 208, Neighbors 301, you're in the same ballpark. I don't know that there's that many as many landmines this year. And I rarely have that many landmines in the top 3 picks. Like last year, I didn't want Tyreek Hill, who was going like top 4, top 3 rounds. I didn't like him. I liked a lot of guys around that range more. But I had like 1 or 2 players I didn't like. Ethan Chamberlain, I don't like Scat this year. What do you think? I don't know that I like him in the 3rd round. This is it's my pick. It's my pick. I like Bucky in the 4th. I don't think this is bad value. I like the wide receivers I can get in the 5th and 6th. I'm going to find myself taking a lot of Bucky. What are my thoughts on Smitty this year? There's a kind of a whole blob of wide receiver 2s. Smitty, Tet, Higgins, Ibuka, Flowers, Wilson, McConkey. I like Ibuka as much as I like Devonta Smith. I like Waddle in that same range too. Jacob Hoffman, thoughts on Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, Kyron, Jalen Waddle start. I like it okay. I like it okay. We'll have to keep looking for running backs, Jacob, especially in a draft like this. DeAndre Swift, I think, is a 5th round guy, goes in the 4th round. I like to get at least 1 early to have an idea of what I need to be doing. Like Kyron's in about his range. Javante's a couple picks early. I think this is early for Scat. Montgomery in the 5th round we're all right with. If Judkins is here, we could take that. I like Judkins. We covered him in a video today. I think he was running back 26 last year, missing a good chunk of the year. Running back 26 last year. Like he was good when he was playing. He missed the end of the year with an injury and he missed the start of the year with behavior issues. If I'm drafting him in the 5th round, that's typically running back 20 range, and I'm just kind of drafting him around his floor, I like that. Jonathan Brooks at 505 is a bit early for me. I've got 2 running backs. We're in the 5th round. Do we take a shot on Luther Burden here? I feel okay about our wide receivers. We didn't get any of the tight ends. Sam Laporte, yeah, I'm going to hit Luther Burden. We're going through them quick, and I'm probably not spending enough time talking through my picks. I'm fine with Burden in the 5th. It's about where Odunze is going. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to end, when Burden will come back healthy. JC Team Axon Realty Wisconsin. What's your favorite draft pick position? I think I did that in a TikTok the other day. I like pick 10, but that's the same thing that I like every year. I like pick 10 right around here, and then I've got 2 guys, and I can look at what positions they've already taken and make small plans. I'm fine with the same thing. I like pick 3. I just like the 1st round to be able to catch people that fall in value. And you kind of have to take your guys at the top. So if someone falls down to pick 10, I like to be there to grab them. If I don't get pick 10, I like pick 6 or pick 7 for the same reason, to just be grabbing guys that are falling in value. I think a lot of the stuff that people talk about right now or August each year, covering like what's the best draft spot, is nonsense. The best draft spot last year was probably like pick 6 because there was a strong tier of 6 players and half of them were busts. So when we build out these tiers of like, oh, we got to get here, it's the perfect lineup of this tier overlapping with that tier. We're going to be wrong so much that the idea of picking the perfect draft pick is kind of stupid. But it's also, people want to read about fantasy. And you can only read sleeper articles so many times. So now we have articles of like, this is the best draft spot and this is the best draft strategy. And it's not really anything that's going to help you any more than the player analysis that's in those articles or in those thoughts of like why they say it's the best draft spot, but it's not. There isn't really one. Pooty says Parker Washington over BTJ. I think they're going like back to back right now. Drew Brooks in the 5th is not something I expected. This is just mock drafts. That is early. Ethan, everyone says Bucky Irving is a bad pick because he's splitting reps. What do you think? Most running backs split reps. How many reps does he get? And what work do we expect? Bucky Irving in the 4th can deliver value in the 4th. Bucky Irving in the 2nd would be a bad pick. But Bucky Irving in the 4th to get RB2 numbers, I've been making the comparison to like, what if he's just DeAndre Swift? What if he starts putting up numbers like this? RB 15, 19, 20, 20, 15. What if that's Bucky Irving now? That's okay in the 6th. In the 6th, ooh, I really like Tootin, Tate, and Price. I'm going to take Jadarian Price here. Or do I go Tootin? I'm going to go Tootin. I mean to be clicking Tootin. Did my thing fail? Yeah, we're going to pause that. Oh, no, we'll just leave it. We'll leave it. That's fine. Actually, I can change the player. I can change the player to Tootin. Change the player to Tootin. It resets it. I think the screen froze for me on my end. We do change them in these. I'll take Tootin there. Marmar says Price, man, please. I also really like Jadarian Price. I like taking Jadarian Price. I would have been fine with taking him in the 6th and then just grabbing Charbonnet there. There's some spots where I'll just shoot for upside. Like what if Tootin gives us top 12 numbers? What if he slots into what Travis Etienne was doing and he gives us like an RB 12 to 15 season and he doesn't lose the job? Is that locked in? No, but I think it's okay. John, how do you feel about my 103 picks? Jamar, Henry, Neighbors, Etienne. I like Trav in the 4th. Dropped my pencil. And then I like Jamar at 3. I don't think of those picks, I don't think any of them are crazy. John. Derrick Henry at the back half of the 2nd. I like Derrick Henry. Like I just took him at 207 in this mock draft. He's still going. Tight end rankings and Kittle thoughts. My tight end rankings aren't that crazy compared to what's happened here. Bowers, McBride, Loveland, and Warren, I like right next to each other. And here they went right next to each other. I really like Laporta. I'm buying in that he's back healthy. And I really like the offensive coordinator change for the Lions. It's Drew Petzing coming over from the Cardinals, where Trey McBride was just excellent for years. Could Sam Laporta do that? Yeah. Or a different version. Could he just be decent with Sam Laporta again? Yeah. I'd say I don't know how I feel about Harold Fannin. They're adding in a lot of pass catchers there and changing the offensive coordinator, changing the head coach. Like Kevin Stefanski got a lot of work from tight ends, kind of like Kyle Pitts a little bit for that reason. I'm on the clock. I would not take Jalen Warren here. I don't really want to take Chuba Hubbard if he's injured. Do we go Ramondre? I don't love clicking Ramondre here, but I'm going to do it. Honestly, kind of wish I had just gone Mekhi Lemon there for upside. Drew should have taken Caleb. Every one of these drafts that we've done. Okay. I feel okay about Stevenson. Most of these that I've done, I could have gone for the stack. You're right. I think I'm talking too much about a lot of questions. Why did I lean Burden over Rome for upside? User 99. If Burden has a good week one, people are going to bust in their jorts thinking about him. Sorry for getting a little crass. I do keep that in mind. Like, what does the market think of this player? And if they hit right away, how much can I move them for? If Brian Thomas has a good first 2 weeks and people are like, he's back, that's going to be really valuable. Much more valuable than if DK Metcalf has a good first 2 weeks, right? If we go 2 weeks through the season and Metcalf and Brian Thomas score the same amount of points, people are going to like Brian Thomas more. Dead, I said that's the least crass thing he said today. I do have a 6-year-old. I do tone it down around them. User, should I be worried about Achane? Yeah. At 111, should you be worried about him? Like, he's going to be on one of the worst, I think one of the worst teams in the league. Would I still draft him? Yeah. But would it surprise me if he was running back 10, 11 at the end of the year? Just like Genty was last year on a terrible Raiders team? It wouldn't surprise me. I just think there's risk there. I think there's still, the upside is still possible, but there's definitely more risk than last year. I think Willis is one of the single best value picks based on ADP. Malik Willis? Yeah. Which is why I don't draft a quarterback. I haven't drafted one yet. Like, I'll just take Kyler in the 10th, 11th, 12th. I think we've gotten Bo Nix in the 11th multiple times in these. Like, that works. He's going to be fine. He was QB7 his first 2 years. I'm okay with Bo Nix. Hubbard in the 8th. I need to start getting more, as we're getting closer to actual drafts, get more up to speed with actual injury news, because right now, teams just don't have to tell us any sort of timeline for injury recovery. Like, where did Jeremiah Love go here? Did he went 212 with a high ankle sprain? Like, he could just miss time to start the year. I'm on the clock. I'm going Travis Kelce. That's, if I'm drafting in my real drafts, this is probably the thing that am most likely to do in my real draft is just take Travis Kelce. Drew, I'm so far out on Jalen Warren this year. If I take Jalen Warren, I might just take Dowdle as well. They're going around 7 and 8. If you guys go back, one of the things I do right now is like go back, and ESPN shows it. They'll have a rosters page on your league on the website, and it'll say where you got all your players. Like, did you draft them? Did you trade for them? Were they waivers? Like, we're going to drop our 7th or our 8th pick. So I'm fine with just saying, like, give me Dowdle and Jalen Warren. Let's see who wins the job, and they're probably going to be useful. And then if the other one isn't, that's okay. I don't do that multiple times in a draft, but just let's get one of them. If Jonathan Brooks hadn't gone in the 5th round, I like Chuba and Brooks. Just give me the guy who wins. It's probably one guy there. If it seems like a situation where it's one guy rather than Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason probably split. Harvey and Dobbins probably split. Do I like the Lamar Zay stack at the 40952? Yeah. Where is this? 40952 for Lamar and Zay. That's 409 would be here. Or 52. Is that something you did in a different draft? 40952. Those ones wouldn't go together. If it's 409 in a 10-team league, probably not. I like it in a 12-team league. I go a little bit later on quarterbacks. In the 9th round, I haven't taken Stafford. If I hadn't taken Travis Kelce, I'd probably just take Jake Ferguson here to be a fine tight end to cover the role for me. Tight end is a bit deeper this year. I might just go Stafford. He was MVP last year. He's going in the 9th round. He was QB 3 in scoring. Is it possible he goes back to this 19 and 15? Sure, but then I'll just pick up a different quarterback. It's unlikely that he loses the week for me in week 1. It's unlikely that I get 8 points from him. I probably just get like fine points. And then I can keep looking for values off of waivers for quarterbacks. I could also just take Trevor Lawrence in the 10th round. There's so many, like Trevor Lawrence, was he QB4 last year? QB4. He's going in the 10th round. Lee Jitsu, how can I join the Discord? You can go to boombustfantasy.com/Discord. You true, Alex, I got the 12th pick. What should I pick in tight end first 2? What? You got the 12th pick. Should I pick a tight end in your first 2 picks? No. No, there's a lot of tight ends this year. Should I trade Genty for Tet and Ramondre? Christian, we do our trade questions through the site because I'm not sure what type of league you're in. We take a lot of different trade questions. Who's this barely bat late QB is always a fine method. It's worked for me for years. It's worked for me for years. Your draft grade will be one of the worst. My draft grade is usually one of the worst. And then you just win the league. Tried the site yesterday, couldn't sign up. Okay. Who do we got coming up at 10:07? Is Jordan Addison gone? Like Concepcion is gone. Stribling is already going in the 10th. I think once you're into double-digit rounds in a 12-team league, all of these guys are going to be fine. The payment kept crashing, Christian. That's okay. I'll take a look at that. I think I would take a lot of guys like Stribling, Concepcion ahead of someone like Algier. I mean, obviously they did go ahead. But at this point, I'm just looking for upside. We only have 2 wide receivers. I think we lost Jordan Addison already. That's someone I'm usually taking in the 10th. Yeah, he's gone. I'll take Golden. Let's see what happens with Matthew Golden. I could also take Pierce and in the 10th round and just go through his injury. Like I've got 2 wide receivers to cover it. I have 3 wide receivers to cover the first couple weeks. It's like Alec Pierce, I don't need him to be okay. Carson, why is Kelsey going so late? I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. Barely Bat, trust me, I was looking for that boy Addison. Were you? Is he gone? I don't know. I think I'm not paying enough attention to the draft for this to be a real league. Like who asked this? TK, is this a mock or a real draft? This is a mock draft. I do have a real draft that I'll probably end up having to do during one of these shows, but that'll be in a couple weeks. And maybe I'll talk through that one live, but that'll be a real one. Who am I taking 5th pick? We had pick 6 and we took Amon-Ra St. Brown. So JSN or Amon-Ra. You could also take McCaffrey there. Maybe we'll do 5th pick video tomorrow. We did pick 8 this morning. Maybe we'll do pick 5 tomorrow morning for those first couple rounds. Are we mocking again, Dylan? No, we're already 30 minutes past what we were going to do. Gilbert Living, thank you for the follow. I'm on the clock. I will not take Khalil Shakir. I could do Xavier Worthy. Let's get stupid and go with Cyrus. I'm going to go like pick 11, pick 12, kicker defense. I'll try Cyrus Allen. If it hits, it's big. If it doesn't hit, that's fine. I'm probably going to drop my 11th round pick for a waiver pickup in the first couple weeks anyway. Gilbert Living following. We'll need to see the 5th pick video. Okay, we'll do 5th in the morning. We'll do 5th. A shifty season. We do our trade questions through the site. Shifty season. Marcos Moreno. I have Gibbs, Hampton, Price, and Williams as my running backs. Which Williams? There's multiple Williams. We do team reviews. Team check-in, team reviews through the site. Right now, those work with ESPN. You're true, Alex. I got 12th pick. What should I pick in the first two? I like this combo. Lamb Hampton. I might go Lamb Chase Brown in that spot. I just really like Chase Brown. Hunter, I pick one and I'm not worried and I'm not thrilled about it. I don't love pick one because you can't get good values in the first round. Like we did do a mock draft where Christian McCaffrey fell to like pick 10. I'll take him there. I'll take him there for sure. It's one of the reasons I don't really do like zero RB or really any sort of strategy. If a player falls to me in the first couple rounds, we're changing up the plan right away. So I don't like having pick one because you can't get a big value pick in the first round. But then once you get to the second, there's going to be someone that falls there and you can grab them. That's the only reason I would worry about it. Other than that, your pick doesn't matter as much. Get players that can become tradable and then start trading as soon as your draft is done. Bull, do I have a Genty take? Not really. Let's click on him and see what the most recent player blurb is. He sits out practice. The last thing we heard was 7 hours ago. We're not going to know for a while. If it's a high ankle sprain, I may say like worst case scenario is that it's a 6-week high ankle sprain and then he's slow when he comes back. So like probably build that out into your draft logic for Genty. And then my other general take is that I rarely will buy the injury dip in preseason. Like as players get injured in the preseason, they can just go to someone else's team. Sometimes it'll work out for them, but more often than not, the injury price is not low enough. Like guys don't get cheap enough for how they actually perform. So typically drafting an injured player in the preseason doesn't return value. That's not like 100%. It's like 60% of the time you don't get value. 40% you do, but I'll just stay away from it. If I can gain that teeny tiny edge, I will. In this spot, like 12th round, this would be my final flyer. Running back. Nothing's really jumping out to me here. Alec Iamaner, is there a tight end? Colby Parkinson. I'm just kind of clicking because we're at the end of the show. I don't know that I would look at that. Alex, what team in the mock do you like the best? Let's take a look at that rather than talking about 12th round players. Who do we like the best? Probably like barely bat. Herbert in the 8th. I don't feel crazy about Jalen Warren, Monungai, White. White could give some value. Coker could give some value. Like there's nothing crazy about Coker. I don't know that I take a lot of Romeo Dobbs. That feels a lot like Khalil Shakir. Like what's he ever going to do? Do I ever draft a Romeo? I mean, I'm looking at my team. I would more likely reach for someone like Cyrus Allen rather than draft someone like Romeo Dobbs or Henry Ruggs, rest in peace, the people he killed. Actually, I shouldn't joke about that. I was saying rest in peace of his career and then realized, oh, people did die and I needed to say something else. Let's just not talk about him. Am I taking Romeo Dobbs or Khalil Shakir? No. Wide receiver 37 in their best year. This is the type of production you can just get on waivers if you need it. So I rarely draft someone like that late. What other? Maybe we go Puka. How do we feel about this team? Puka, Bowers, Williams, Lamar, Brian Thomas, Godwin. Like we could be scrambling for a second receiver and flex here. Maybe Dowdle becomes a flex. I'd say like this team could have a gap at wide receiver 2 and at flex coming out of the draft right away. I'm on the clock. I'm just going to pick kicker to keep things moving. Did it go through? Yeah. What about Chase, Nico Collins, Kyron in the 3rd? I like that. Burrow 5th, Harvey, Corum. I kind of want more running backs. Here. Or wouldn't I rather have David Montgomery or Judkins and then take a different quarterback later? Like if I had gone Judkins, if this were my team, I would rather have Judkins at 502 and then Hurts at 611 compared to Burrow and Metcalf. Do I see Matthew Golding having a better year? It'd be hard for him to have a worse year. Does he have a fantasy relevant year? Man, I hope so. I don't think it's out of the cards. Pooty thinks you've got the best squad. Gibbs, Love, Neighbors, Terry. This could be. This could be Pooty. This could be the best squad. Like if Harrison puts up just like wide receiver 18 numbers, that'll be pretty solid. It'll be a pretty good team. Is Love going to be good? Jeremiah Love? I think so, Chicken Boy. I think so, Chicken Boy. I don't think the... Ooh, a hat and a mustache, Xavier. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think the... I'm just going to let this run out the clock. I don't know that the Cardinals have the offensive line issues that the Raiders had last year. The Raiders were very bad on offensive line. I don't know that the Cardinals have that issue. They were an okay running team last year with the exception of they had no running backs. So when they had running backs, they were fine. Like James Conner was good. Seth about 1788. Who do I prefer, Gibbs or Bijan? What separates them? I don't have a preference, and I'll say nothing separates them. And we could pull up the numbers. Bijan was RB2 last year. Gibbs was RB3. They could easily flip this year. Does anything separate them? No. Even people like giving the take that the quarterbacks for the Falcons, I don't know if this is a video I should even make. Like the quarterbacks for the Falcons could hold Bijan back, I think is a really stupid take. Like Penix was the quarterback for Bijan last year. He was fine. Tua was the quarterback for Achane last year, guys. That was running back 5. These quarterbacks are going to hold them back when we've seen a full year of them not doing it. Xavier, oh, the hat and mustache isn't the way to get your comment answered anymore. You're debating between CMC and Puka at the 104. You get into coin flip tier. If you just want someone that you think is going to perform, I might go Puka. Price out like where you think you can get your running backs on top of that. Because there's a lot of guys, 3rd round, 4th round receivers. Like we don't know who's going to hit into the top 10. It could be Olave, it could be Waddle, it could be Ibuka, it could be Rice, it could be Flowers, it could be Smitty, it could be Garrett Wilson, it could be Ted, it could be T, it could be Lad McConkey. All of them could be top 10. None of them would surprise me. So maybe you go like running back and then get a couple receivers there as the difference. But we're getting into coin flip tier with Puka versus CMC. But I don't know that that's going to break your draft. As long as you like feel confident you can grab running backs elsewhere, I think Puka's fine. If you don't want to try to guess which wide receiver is going to be great, just take Puka. Or if you're worried about getting running backs, like flip it. But I'd be fine with Williams and Judkins as my guys, as my top 2. If I then stacked up really good receivers and Brock Bowers. All right, we're going to start shutting it down. Gilbert Living, I think coin flip changes if you need to start 2 running backs. Most leagues start 2 running backs. Let's wrap it up. We will be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Time. Thank you, guys. We'll do a couple more of the drafts. We'll go through team reviews and so on. Barely Bat Jack has the best team. Let's be honest. I don't know that I do. I spend most of my time answering these questions, and then I pick with about 10 seconds on the clock, and I have not thought about it as we go through them. Thank you very much, guys. We'll shut it down. Make sure you're following if you're not, and we'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Time. Central Time. Steve saying adios. That's bye in Spanish. Thank you. I didn't know. Clem hasn't taught me that one yet. Take care. Take care. Take care.